Emergency Management Director here for Louisville and Jefferson County. I've also got Charles Park from the Mega Cavern and John Walzak, the Director of the Louisville Zoo as well. So you're The zoo is closed today. They did have 2 people on site. They were stopped because of the tornado drill that was this morning. And then once they determined that this was an issue, the zoo closed for today, and both the Mega Cavern and the zoo will remain closed until the further that we get into the Mega Cavern and see what kind of, if there's any damage inside of there or around this area. We're working from the inside out to see if there's any kind of damage. So, like I said, we've got geoengineers that are on the scene, and they're inspecting underneath us as we do this press conference. So, with that, I'll entertain any questions for any of the 3 of us.
Can you kind of talk to us about where this sinkhole is in proximity to the Mega Cavern in the zoo, and how big is it?
Right now, it's right here, right behind us. I know some of your helicopters have been flying over, so you may be able to answer that a little bit better.
Sure. So we believe it's definitely unoccupied. It's right either at the Louisville Zoo property line and at our property line. We believe it's at the intersection of those 2, but we won't know further until we get our geotechnical engineers coming.
Do you guys think this is in relation to the earthquake that happened in Tennessee last night?
We can't answer that yet. I mean, obviously that's that's being evaluated to see if that could have potentially done this, or there's some other natural occurrence that could have done it. So what we tried to get the people that are actually inspecting it to do is they're going to go to the spot underneath where we think that the sinkhole has formed, and then they're going to work backwards, and to see if there's any damage in relation, exactly to where we're underneath.
Can you explain again how large is the sinkhole?
Sure, you want to take that?
It's about 50 yards wide by about 85 yards long. That's completely estimated as well.
Say that again if you wouldn't mind.
85 yards long by 50 yards wide. Okay. And like I said, there's nothing, we haven't been able to measure it. That's completely estimated.
How deep?
Just from looking in from the top and looking at the video surveillance that we've got, you know, it could be 50 feet, potentially larger or deeper in some areas.
What would cause something like this? I know it's early on, you guys looking into it, but I mean,
It could be, you know, from the potential rain that we've got, runoff. It could be, you know, something naturally that was occurring underground. It could be the earthquake that happened yesterday. There's several different things that they're looking at.
How long are you guys expecting to close?
Our primary objective here is safety for the mega caverns and for the zoo. So we're going to let all the engineers do their work, and we'll make that determination when they say it's safe. Until that time, we're going to be closed.
I would assume that's a huge financial loss for you guys.
Right now, our priority is safety. It's always our #1 priority, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to let all the engineers, surface engineers, mining engineers are on site right now doing a complete investigation, so that will determine when we reopen.
and is it safe for people living in the area?
Right now, the area was right behind us, and we're focused on that, and the engineers will help us with that determination.
How do you fix something like this?
We're going to wait for the engineers. That's my expertise is animals and zoos. I'm sorry, I couldn't tell you exactly how we could fix it, but we're going to rely on the geotechnical, the mining engineers, get all their expertise, and we'll have to take that one step at a time.
So obviously this happened overnight at some point, do you all think?
We discovered it this morning, as Jody mentioned. And by the way, I'd like to say I can't thank Director Myman and Charles Park, all of the metro agencies responding. This has been, safety has been the utmost concern of everybody involved, and everybody did a phenomenal job. Your question again?
Did it happen overnight?
It was discovered by our staff first thing this morning, and Charles, you had an indication of that.
We believe it happened anywhere between. We believe it happened anywhere between. We're not exactly sure, but probably anywhere between 11 to 2 in the morning.
Can you talk a little bit about that earthquake? Is that a massive size, magnitude, or something that could have been felt here in Kentucky?
According to USGS, it was felt in Kentucky, so as our standard SOP, we automatically close the Louisville Mega Cavern, and then we have our mining engineers come by, and it wasn't until the zoo informed us of the sinkhole, so our mining engineers were en route.
Is there any damage in Tennessee because of this earthquake?
I can't speak to that.
Would you guys have probably closed anyway because of the earthquake yesterday, even if the sinkhole wasn't found?
That's correct. That's exactly what I was saying, is that because there was an earthquake in Maynard, Tennessee, our standing operating procedure is to actually close the cavern and to make sure that our mining engineers give us all clear.
So what was the reaction when you found out, well, you were closing out of precautionary, and then you have a sinkhole?
Obviously, it was a surprise, but the Louisville Zoo, I can't speak to them enough. They've been great partners in this. We're going to be working together to make sure that we have the safety of all of our patrons and all of our guests, and I can't speak enough about Director Jody here. He's been phenomenal.
That equipment that you guys used I think you said you heard something, and that indicated that something was going on. Talk about the details of that and how you were able to find out that it was actually there.
So it wasn't technically equipment. We were replacing zip lines, and our people heard it. They contacted me.
What did they hear exactly?
They just heard a noise.
Like a cracking?
I would have to speak to them further about it. I just got here, and well, we enacted our SOP.
So when I said technical sound equipment, it was the human ear that they heard. So that was good. Something too, also that you know, both groups did on my way here was they did notify all of the neighbors, you know, of the you know, of what was going on here, and you know, been in contact with them as well. So you know, we'll evaluate further. We expect to get back with you probably by at least 5 o'clock. We'll let you know if we're going to do a live press or just send you a press release, depending on probably what we find inside with that recon that's going on right now.
Is it dangerous to be close to it, or like is there concern that it's going to grow anymore?
You know, you never know. It's an act of nature, and you just never know, and that's why we've got it. You can see it taped off behind us. You know, and then we took the extra precaution to send those collapse rescue experts in with the mining expert, you know, to take a look at some of the things that were going on or potentially going on inside of the mega cavern.
How dangerous is this for the people that you have assessing what's going on down there?
You know, it always could be dangerous. I mean, you never know when, you know, something else may happen that may shift, or you know, if there's water running that we can't see, or you know, anything's a possibility. And that's why, like I said, we put people in the proper protective equipment to go in and evaluate that situation.
So should people who live nearby be concerned?
Right now, no. It's limited to the area behind me. You know, like I said, and we've got the utility companies that are continuously on the scene. They're monitoring their system. You know, through technology, they haven't seen any adverse effects for anything like this, or you know, for what's going on. So, like I said, we've got everybody on site that we need, and can continually evaluate the situation throughout the day. And like I said, we'll get back with you guys, you know, sometime before 5 o'clock.
Our mic kind of cut out in the beginning, but can you reiterate how no one was injured, whether it
Yes.
was humans or animals?
Yes, no one was injured. No animals were in the vicinity of this. You know, like I said, the zoo found it. Their personnel found it on their morning walks, their morning evaluations, and immediately reported it. The area was evacuated from anybody else to get in there. But yes, nobody was in the area when it happened. Nobody was hurt. No animals were affected as well.
And could one of you talk to the importance of those morning walks too? Why it's important to kind of do that routine? It's not every day you find a sinkhole.
Well, it's all due diligence with the mega caverns. With your zoo is staffed 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. We're always monitoring every aspect of it. It's, of course, foremost for the animal safety and public safety. So we patrol the zoo constantly, 24 hours a day.
How close are we to the animals, to the sinkhole, to the first animal?
Well, it's across a service road, across the train tracks, and then there's several more feet of a buffer area, and then there's the guanaco enclosure, which is approximately, I'd say, about 100 plus feet.
The what enclosure, sorry?
Guanaco, they're a wild version of a llama.
It's been happened before in the past that you're aware of a similar sinkhole, I guess?
We have had, where we've had a pool leak, we've had much smaller versions of a sinkhole, but nothing this large.
And when you said 100 plus feet, that's from the sinkhole to...
From the edge of the sinkhole approximately to where the outer fence would be for that enclosure. It's a big enclosure. It's in our South American area. That's it's an acre plus enclosure, so it's a big space.
All right, thank you all very much.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, sir. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
No, that's not your fault. So let me see. You said on the daily walks around 8:30 this morning found a large sinkhole.
I don't know if you guys.